up. Always at the worst times when you really need things, technical stuff to work, it just doesn't. So anyway, what I'm going to do, you guys, is demo one of our little kits. We did, as I was saying, the I Love My Dog kit and the I Love My Cat kit. And they're made with some 4mm check beads and our cute little paw beads and some of our older pet charms. So the dog one features our little dog face charm, who we call Spot, and then it features a little charm that we've had for a very long time called I Love My Dog, and it has a little paw on one side and then I Love My Dog on the other. And the cat version is similar, I Love My Cat, with a little paw on the other side, and then the little kitty charm. So they're very fun, they're very cute. Still trying to get a browser window open so I can see what's going on in the stream. Give me just a sec. And I should mention so we launched these kits in a couple of weeks ago. Trying to remember the date, and it's failing me. But what's happening is that the month of May is National Pet Month. So we have a local pet rescue operation here in Santa Rosa. It's literally across the street from us. And our product development manager uses them for her doggy care. She has 2 big Newfoundlands. We have a lot of shop dogs here at Tierra Cast. And Kirsten, our product development manager, has 2 big Newfoundlands, and she uses them for her doggy daycare. And they also are they rescue pets that are at risk of being euthanized at other shelters. And they take care of them and try to find them new homes. So we love this organization, and all of our we're going to donate at the end of National Pet Month a portion of all of our wholesale sales of our pet collection components. Hey, look, sorry, I'm excited, guys. My browser's up and I think I can get into Facebook now. Give me a sec. Let me tap on the keyboard. It looked hopeful for a second there. Anyway, we're donating a portion of all of the wholesale sales of our pet collection parts that you can see in that pet collection tab on our website. Yeah, we're going to donate to them at the end of the month. So we're pretty excited about it. And these kits have been selling really well. And all of our components are generally really, I mean, all of our pet items are generally very popular. You know, our furry friends are very valuable to us. So the kits come with an instruction card, of course. Got I Love My Dog here. Has the part list on the back. Has the instructions inside. The little bag of components has all the metal parts you'll need. And it also has some check beads and a whole strand of them, and also some 0.8mm stretch cord. So, and we also, of course, have these this project on the website for you to just download instructions and make with your own supplies, whatever supplies you have. So the stretch cord in the kit is, let me look and see, it is Elasticity. That is a Beadalon product, and it comes in 3 different sizes, I think. And we have the 0.8 in here. It's kind of the mid-range elastic cord for this kind of project. And my computer totally lied to me, guys. It's not pulling up Facebook for me at all. So thank you, Janelda. We do think it's a good cause. As I said, Kirsten is very, very fond of that organization. So I've got this 0.8 stretch cord. You guys could use, if you were just making the project off the website, you could use whatever stretch cord you want. You know, the only important thing is that your stretch cord fits in your bead holes. So we have, we put in a whole strand of the little check glass beads, which means we're going to have some leftovers, which is, I'm going to do a little bonus demo at the end of this one. Sorry, still sporadically checking on my computer and see if it's going to pull up Facebook for me. So far, no dice. Something else. Oh, we also have some giveaways today. We have these cute little spring giveaways that that we had in the shop, and they're perfect little springy designs. And so we're going to give away 3 of those throughout the demo today. And Julie should be watching, so I'm going to let her pull up. Choose names. She'll choose one early in the demo. She'll choose one midway through, and then another one at the end. And what they are is cute little earring kits. There's some of our teardrop charm components and some crystal beads and some ear wires and some, looks like some little bead caps too. So it's a very simple little design, super springy, super fun. So we're going to give away 3 of those. And hold on. I get to log into Facebook. That way I can keep an eye on what's happening besides just on my phone screen. Give me just a sec. Tech stuff is stressful, you know? So, and I can't see if Julie's piping in yet or not, but I'm going to be watching the comments so that when she chooses the first winner, it'll be there. And just, okay, I'm abandoning Facebook, guys. You're just going to have to rely on Julie for commenting and looking out for things and etc., etc. So we're going to get started with this demo. Now, I wrote the instructions for a 7-inch bracelet. So, and I also included, I need a bead stopper and I'm not seeing one handy. Here we go. Bead stoppers are very handy when you're working with, I find, when you're working with stretch cord, just so you don't lose all your beads. I wrote the directions for a 7-inch bracelet. 3 of these little 4mm check beads are about a 1/2 inch once they're strung. So you can adjust the number of beads that you use for your bracelet by adding or subtracting in, you know, your beads in 1/2 inch increments or whatever works for you. So I'm going to start by just pre-stretching my cord a little bit. That just helps so that the stretch cord doesn't get looser later. And then I've got my little binder clip, and that's very handy. And how about if I get myself a little bit more centered under the camera for you guys too. And then the first thing I'm going to string on is this bail. It's a large hole bail, and I want that at the end of my design because when I tie my knot, I'm going to tuck that knot inside the bail and it will hide the knot. I find using large hole beads to hide knots in stretch bracelets really a good solution for that. So I've got my bail, and then I want 1 of the 4mm beads and 1 paw bead. Hi, Patricia. I can see the comments as they pop up on my phone. just can't really keep an eye on them too well. So I'm just grateful. Anybody who's popped in, thank you so much. We appreciate it. We love showing you guys projects and inspiring you. So I'm repeating that sequence, a check bead, a paw bead. Whoops. Here's something I'm noticing is my bail's going to be at the center of my bracelet, well, the focal area of my bracelet, and I want my paws to be facing the other way. So I'm going to pull these off. I want them to be facing away from the bail. I guess they wouldn't have to be, but that's just the way I did the original design. So pull them off, restring them, face them the other direction. And I think I started saying how many times. I'm repeating this sequence 3 times. And really with these check beads, it's a beautiful little, will I go over the right way to tie the knot? Well, I don't know. I'm going to, when I finish stringing, I'm going to tie a surgeon's knot. So I'll demonstrate that at the end. And whether or not that's the right way, I don't know. I was talking about this little strand of beads. It's a lovely palette. It's just really beautiful little array of colors, and it's easy to get stuck picking your colors. I really try to be random, but I find myself, oh no, I just strung that color. I need a different color. So I'm really trying to be random, but I'm not very good at it. So I repeated that sequence with the bead and the paw bead and the check bead 1, 2, 3 times. And then I'm going to string 32 of the check beads, and I'm going to go ahead and count those out so I don't have to count as I'm going. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 32. And has Julie picked us a winner yet? And if now she ends up having technical difficulty too, and isn't able to pipe in, I haven't seen her name pop up yet. Let's just not worry about it, and I will go back through the comments and pick some winners later, and then I'll just announce them, and whoever I choose, I'll instant message you, so you'll get a notification if you're the winner. So this is where it would be handy for Julie to be here, because we could be chatting while we're just stringing 32 beads in a row. It is a very pretty color palette, Janet. When we were putting together this kit, we looked at a lot of different stuff. And this one just felt like it would appeal to a lot of people. That there was, it was just a nice selection of colors, and that it felt springy for the season, and it felt pretty good. So we ended up choosing this one. And I hope that I keep catching myself, guys, kind of coming way down on the camera view, so I'm sorry about that. I will try to fix it. I know, where is Julie? Romantic too. Yes, I like it. They do feel a little romantic, don't they? They're very soft. Kind of pastel-y, but not. I'm not a pastel-y kind of person. But these are just muted enough where I like it. I like it very much. Where can you buy this kit, Lois? As you know, we're a wholesaler, so we sell our products to the bead stores out there. So you're going to need to check your favorite suppliers, and a lot of the online ones have them. I know that Art Beads has them. I know Goody Beads has them. I know that Shipwreck Beads probably has them. If I can think of anybody else I know for sure. Maybe Lima Beads. I'm not sure. I'm getting a little, my cord's getting a little twisty. I need to untwist that. We love these little paw beads, Lois. We don't sell these beads by themselves, Janelda. We got them from check bead supplier Starman, and they're a wholesale check bead supplier. So they're a company that will sell their check glass products again to the retail stores. So I don't know if you could probably find this this particular color strand out there. Maybe after the demo, if I make a note to myself, I'll see if I can find the ID number for this particular color strand, and maybe then you can search for it. Oh, Kelly says she got a kit from Goody Beads. Yeah, I know that they picked them up, and they have sold a lot of them. It's been really great. And Janelda, are you making with us? I was talking with Janelda yesterday, I think, when I had to originally cancel our first demo. She commented about, she was sad about it, and I said, well, we're going to try and reschedule. And she said, I've got a kit. I've just been waiting to make it during the demo. So I hope she's making along with us. I'm counting again. Yay, Janelda's making with us. The beads, Jane, are 4mm check rounds, faceted rounds. Probably you want to include fire polish in your search. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I ended up with 33, so I'm going to take one off. All right, so that's enough for a 7-inch stretch bracelet. So again, if anybody came in late, 3 of these beads equals about 1/2 inch. So you can adjust your length accordingly. You want it a little shorter, take off the beads, 3 per 1/2 inch, or longer, again, 3 for 1/2 inch. So I'm good with 7 inches. And now here's where I'm going to go ahead and tie a surgeon's knot. So a surgeon's knot, if you guys are unfamiliar, is basically just like your regular knot, except that, so you saw that I looped my the end of my cord through like that. But when I go up and do the second part of it, like I would be doing a square knot, instead of just going through once, I go through twice. And that's what you call a surgeon's knot. Now this is way far away from my bail, so let me see if I can pull it together and get it tightened up without getting it wrapped around the adjacent beads. That's where it gets a little bit tricky. Okay, so now I've got the knot in there. I'm pulling it snug, and then I'm also going to take the sides of the bracelet and pull, pull from that direction, and that's to make sure that it really is secure. Now, when I was demonstrating, I did my directions like a square knot, but actually I've had more success not doing it like a square knot. So if you're familiar with a square knot, you would take the upper cord and wrap it over the bottom cord to do that second part, and that is technically a square knot. Can you see that? So I actually have had better luck with stretch cord going the opposite. So Get my beads out of the way. There we go. So I've got it looped once, and I'm just going to come back through and go the opposite tail, not the one that would go over. I'm just going to do it the opposite. I hope that makes sense. A square knot without the filler cord. Yeah, Lynn Goodwin is commenting about a filler cord. She's a macrame, does a lot of macrame work. All right, so now, again, pulling pretty firmly and also coming in and pulling. We're just going to have knot issues today, guys. Technical issues and knot issues. Not fun, pun intended. Get it? All right, one more time. Through once, through twice. Pull everything close. Make sure my beads aren't caught up in there. Get out of the way, beads. And that one's well and truly in there. Get out of there. Third time was not the charm. Maybe fourth is. Thanks for your patience, you guys. I did a demo last year where it took me like literally 5 minutes to thread a needle that I meant to thread before I did before I started the demo, and forgot to do it. And that was, of course, the one time when it just took forever to get my needle threaded. And this is the one time it's going to take me forever to get a knot tied. Maybe some glue on the knot. Yes, afterwards, Jane, but you don't want to use a super glue. I believe that the wisdom is, goodness sakes. These stretch cord bracelets are supposed to be easy, you guys. You don't want to use super glue because the super glue can be brittle, I guess, and it's not good on the stretch cord. I'm really not sure of the technical stuff, but I just know that it's not really advised. You could try a little bit of hypo cement, though. All right, hey, finally, success. Yay, and I see I'm pulling this time and it's staying put. So that means my knot is good, finally. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to thread one of those tails through the bail to the other side. And then when I pull those a little more, it just tucks that knot right inside the bail. And then I can very carefully trim off my tails, because I know I'm not the only one who has gone to trim off tails and cut the cord or cut the knot. Yeah, not fun. So yeah, Sophia, that's a good trick. And that's why I like to use, whatever bead selection I'm using. I like to use something with a large enough hole in the group that I can do that I can tuck that knot inside it. And of course that will also depend how thick your cord is that you're using too. Obviously the finer cords are going to tuck inside easier. Whoops, I got my round noses and I need my bent nose. So now I'm just taking a jump ring and I'm going to attach the dog charm to the end of the bail, the loop of the bail. I was just thinking, guys, at some point I'm going to upload this video to YouTube, and I'll edit out all that slow knot tying stuff. People won't have to sit through that. So then I'm taking my second little jump ring and I'm adding it to the I Love My Dog charm, and I'm just going to add that to the first jump ring. Julie's here. She just posted a link. Does that mean she chose a winner for the giveaway too? Oh, she just posted a link to the I Love My Cat kit. And again, these kits you can find out there in retail land, but you can also download the instructions and, buy components individually. So you could make variations of this with little gemstones. Oh, somebody had a great idea. I think it was Becky at Art Beads said, use gemstones that are the birthstone for your pet. And I thought that was brilliant. That would be so cute. So whatever a month's gemstone, not like expensive ones, obviously. You're not going to use a ruby for July, but I think there's other gemstone options. And you could get little 4mm gemstone beads and do that with the birth month of your pet. I thought that was such a cute idea. How many names do we need, Tracy? To pick a winner, let's go with 2 so far. And then we'll pick another one at the end, because I'm going to still do my little bonus demo. So let's do 2 right now, Julie, and then we'll do a third one later. So I have leftover beads, which you probably will too. It kind of depends on how big you need to make your bracelet. So what I thought I would do with those leftover beads, whoops, wrong tray. Hold on. What I thought I would do with those other beads is show you guys how to make some earrings. So when I was playing around with this the other day, what did I do with my leftover beads? I put them on the other tray. I got some colored beading wire, and I pulled out some of our little spacers, and I just put together these cute little earrings. I thought it was a great way to use those leftover beads. So what I need then is some colored beading wire, and Softflex makes colored beading wire, and Beadalon does as well. I think that, well, the Softflex brand is a 0.019, so it's a medium weight, and that works really well for kind of holding the teardrop loop shape. It looks like the Beadalon is 0.018, so it might be a wee bit finer, but they both have nice colors of beading wire available. And you could also just use your usual beading wire. It doesn't need to be a color. It could just be your silver or brass or whatever you got. I do recommend the medium just because it has a little bit more body to hold the teardrop. And I also pulled out, I didn't just pull out our pet charms. I thought some of these other little springy charms were cute too. So I got out our dragonfly and I got out our ladybug. We'll see which one we decide to add. So I need for this little earring idea 6 inches of cord, about. And I need 2 crimp beads. Or I need 1 crimp bead and 1 spacer. And the difference is some of our charms have a, well, no, hold on now, I have to backtrack. The direction of the loop is not an issue here, but it will be when we're stringing our beads. It depends on if I want to put a crimp up here at the top or a spacer. So the crimp bead here is not crimped down. It doesn't need to secure the wire up at the top of the loop because I secure it down here at the bottom. It's just there to hold the teardrop shape and to create a little loop up here for the ear wire. And with this version, I used one of our spacers instead of a crimp tube. So that's why I say it can be one crimp bead, one spacer, or two crimp beads. So let's get this out of the way. So and I want an even number of beads, so I'm just going to put, I think, 3 on each side of my charm at the bottom. And here's where I can kind of be choosy about my colors, depending on what I've got left. And then also, as I was already saying, I got my charms and I got jump rings. And some of the charms have opposed loops. That's what you call it when they're wait a minute. Yeah, when they're facing sort of opposite of the charm itself, so you can string it right onto something. And some of them have what we call inline loops, and that's when you'd need to add a jump ring to that. So the first thing I'm going to do is I want to use a spacer instead of a crimp up at the top. So I'm going to thread on a spacer, and then I'm going to double my wire and go back through, and then I'm going to pull those wire ends even. I want them to be the same length on both sides. And then I can, the size of this loop will be determined by just sliding that spacer up and down, and it's fine right where it is for me right now. So then I'm going to string on some beads. And I'm just going to string a bead and a spacer on each side. Spacer bead, spacer bead, spacer bead, and repeat that on the other side. All right, and then I'm going to string on a crimp tube. And then I'm going to thread the wire through the other end of the wire through the crimp bead from the opposite direction. And here's where I am going to adjust my size. So I can make it shorter, I can make it longer. Oh, and also, a good thing to bring up, before we put, if you're going to use a charm with an opposed loop, like for example this dragonfly, which we'll just go ahead and use, you can go ahead and string that on now. Now if you're going to use a charm with an inline loop with a jump ring, you can either have had that jump ring already attached and go ahead and do the same, string it on as you're stringing your beads, or you can use your jump ring and add it later. But we're going to use the opposed loop for this one, so I'm going to go ahead and string them on, and then thread my wires back through my crimp tube, and get that situated. I want it right at the center, and of course I want my sides to be equal. But even if they don't come out equal, that can be adjusted because this is not secured, so you could like adjust your wires if you needed to afterwards. So now I've got my crimp tube in place. I'm going to take my crimping pliers and tuck. Oh, something I want to make sure I do is, you know, the crimping pliers have the tooth side and the rounded side. I want that rounded side on the outside. I'm just being particular. It probably doesn't really matter. So I'm going to get that in place and go ahead and crimp my wires. And I really want to make sure that this is secure, because if this crimp fails down here at the bottom, your whole earring just falls apart, of course. So I want to make sure it's good. Feels pretty tight. And then I'm going to flip that over and use the front notch to curl my crimp bead over. and it feels very securely attached. So then I can go in and trim off my ends. Am I missing a bead on one side? I'm missing a bead on one side. How did that happen? How in the world did that come off when I wasn't looking? All right, so ideally we catch those things before we crimp. So I'll just have to make this one over again. You guys can just pretend they're all there. It must have fallen off. I can't imagine when it got lost, but it did. Ear wire. Last touch is just an ear wire. I do too, Janelda. But, you know, in this case, this is not like some big, long project that took forever to do. It would not be a big deal to cut it apart and just and get the correct number of beads in there. I'm not going to worry about it right now because you guys, I have other examples here that were correctly done. So I just like this idea because I thought it was a great idea to use, a great project to use those leftover beads with. You can see, here's something interesting happening, guys. So this spacer has a larger hole than the other one I used here. So it's really kind of sliding a little bit. And the loops change. So that could be a good thing, that could be an okay thing, or that could be an annoying thing. If that was happening and I wanted to fix that, I would probably just get it in place and put a little glue there around the hole of that bead, and so that it would stop sliding around. Might be a good solution for that. Probably a better solution is to just choose a spacer bead that fits your cord nice and snugly and isn't going to move around. So that's it, guys. I'm going to take the phone off of the thing, but I won't be able to tell if I'm upside down, so you guys are going to have to tell me if I'm upside down when I do this. And let me do this. Am I right side up? And I can't tell because the writing's on the other side. So I hope I'm right side up, guys. Sorry I started upside down. And I hope that you liked that little demo. I'm trying to think if there was something else Julie and I wanted to cover during our demo today. And nothing is coming to me. Hopefully she chose three winners, and congratulations to you guys. She'll let me know who you are, and I'll send you a notification, or you may already know because she told you, but I'll send you a direct message so I can get your shipping info and get that little kit out to you. And thank you guys for watching. We will not be doing a Tuesday live next week. I have something on my schedule that conflicts, so we probably won't have another one scheduled until the 18th, but stay tuned and I'll let you know what that is. And thanks, and we'll see you later.